Welcome back to Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt, joined this week by RJ. RJ, how are you doing?
You know what, Matt? Every day is a challenge, but at the end of the day, at 11 o'clock Eastern time on Monday night, I know I'm going to be here. Come hell or high water, and we're dealing with both tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Nope, understandable. And we're joined by Craig or KitKat37. We're just gonna go with Craig. Craig, how are you tonight?
I started a new workout because I have a coach, and it feels like someone quite literally is trying to rip the muscles off my sternum. So that's a thing.
I don't know where that ranks in terms of feeling like you got hit by a truck, but I feel like that's close to getting hit by a truck.
There was some F-350s involved there.
Ooh, the big guns.
Were they dualies?
A lifted with the big rims that don't actually fit inside the tires. It's fantastic. Lights underneath.
You mean the I'm compensating something for something mobile. Got it.
Rolling
That
coal,
might be an
baby.
early contender for the title.
Quite possibly. Also, if you roll coal, I really hope you pay your credit cards on time. Sure.
They don't.
I absolutely know they don't. They're the reason why we get to go on vacation for practically like reduced amount of money. Thank you. And please continue to do that. Anyway, as always, we like to jump into our viewer questions. Our first question this week comes from Robert J, who asks, I know I've asked this before, but I'm still curious. If all cards were one times points or 1%, what course setup would you build and use? Craig, I'll throw to you on this one.
Yeah. So if all cards were 1x, this is going to make me cry first and foremost, because all of that grocery spend is just going to be
Just set on fire.
set on fire. This is what makes Dubs cry. So for me, I think I would go heavily into a singular ecosystem. And the reason rationale there, we are not accumulating a lot of points, people. We need something that will get us going and get us where we need to be. And my inner heart tells me, just go with American Express. Hilton and Delta are right there. The problem with that is, even if we're at 1x, I'm assuming that they are still mandating the same amount of points for stays, and that's just not going to work out. So I'm going to go a heavy chase setup because, and my skin, it crawls while I say this. It truly does. Hyatt, Hyatt has low enough redemptions that I can likely still build up enough points to do stays. I'm assuming airlines will just be paid for with cash, and my CSR will be my insurance. So yeah, for me, it's going to be a CSR and a platinum. That platinum is not getting any spend at all whatsoever.
No.
It is purely there just for benefits. The Aspire is there just for benefits. The Brilliant is there just for benefits. Any and all other spend that I'm doing is going to be on the CSR, and it is going to funnel back into just Hyatt stays. I know that's not necessarily glamorous, but when we're talking about a 1x world and thinking about what's going to be the most feasible for me to actually leverage points, that, at least for me, that feels like where it's going to be.
That is a tough inner light to have.
Yeah,
Just
it's the joys of getting hit
space.
by an F-350.
Basically, what this question asks is, what if Europe?
Yes, yes.
RJ,
Which
what if Europe? Sorry.
So I would go Amex because Rakuten still exists. And because Rakuten still exists, I don't care necessarily what my base earning is on a card. Like, he didn't say that I can't multiply otherwise. He said the cards are 1x. So if the cards are 1x, I can still have a platinum, run everything through my platinum via Rakuten, get all of the benefits of the platinum, get all the protections of the platinum. And if all cards are 1x, it doesn't matter, right? It's not like I have the Blue Business Plus to get 2x on everything as well. Like, everything can go through my platinum. I get all of those perks. Easy. So the platinum stays. Apple Card stays because the perk of that card to me is not the cashback. The perk of that card is the zero APR for Apple stuff. I like Apple stuff. We're about to go into my favorite month of the year, which is, hey, want some new Apple stuff? Usually I say yes. Apple, I'm asking you to change the lenses so I can either wear my glasses or you can give me lenses that I can put into a Vision Pro. Please. I'm asking Apple, please. So there's that. The Delta cards, the Reserve Business and the Reserve Personal stay because I don't use that for the multipliers. I use that for the benefits. Those stay. The choice card probably goes. The Surpass probably gets upgraded to an Aspire. The Hilton Honors Business goes. IHG stays. The two US Bank cards go. The Aviator Red is going to be fired into the sun. So my core setup doesn't change because the Surpass is going to an Aspire as soon as I can. So nothing in my setup changes because if I could never get a higher multiplier on a card than 1x, I don't know if I would care. And I say that as somebody who most of my trip spending is cash. I use points if I just don't want to pay. If either I'm going to be tight that month because of pre-committed bills or whatever. Like, I rather pay cash and get points off of that than use points often. That's just who I am as somebody. Like, I want those perks on those cards. So for me, my setup is built on perks. It is not built on multipliers. Now, I do personally think multipliers matter. That'll get into a thing later, but I really do want perks more than I want anything else. So that's how my setup's already built. Matt, what about you?
Man, I don't know at all. I'm just gonna have to pop on a Raspberry Beret and grin and bear it with a CSR. Like the CSR just becomes a perk card. I'd probably pick up a platinum for more perks. Like,
Would
here's
you
the thing.
would you
American Express
Rakuten with
cards.
it, me?
Oh, I'd be using a whole lot of cashback options for sure. Rakuten would probably be in there if I wanted to go hot and heavy with American Express. I could still use Rove and build up points that way through Rove. Built neighborhood partners have to get a lot better to continue to play there. So there's ways to get multipliers, sure, but really it's just like 1x across the board with the cards. Now you need some strong perks like espresso kicking in the pants type perks and Amex. Like, for all I will poo Amex from time to time, I don't really poo Amex, but like membership reward points don't always work best for me. I don't value Marriott points that highly. Yes, Hilton points are fantastic, don't get me wrong, and you can get two of them for every MR point. That's great. I'd rather just focus that spend through Hilton itself because yeah, my thing with transferable currencies is always I need to have the escape hatch, and they don't, and American Express doesn't always give me that escape hatch, so there's that. But for all of my qualms with membership reward points, Amex cards come with the best perks.
They do.
Like, the platinum comes with more lounges than anyone else. Now, Sapphire is sort of not really catching up in terms of pure Sapphire versus Centurion, but Sapphire is starting to catch up a little bit by using the Maple Leaf lounges. But again, that's a very extenuating circumstance. You have to be flying Star Alliance, but you're probably going to be flying Star Alliance anyway if you have a Sapphire reserve. So there's that. But they pale in comparison in terms of the perks that American Express cards can give you. Like, the best you can get from Chase is like an 85k cert through the Ritz-Carlton card. You can get an 85k cert and platinum status with the Brilliant, right? They're all going to carry Priority Pass. They're all going to carry global entry, so that's not a concern. Platinum, CSR, Venture X does nothing for me besides the 6 locations I can go to with their card at the airports. I would probably grab an Aspire for Hilton Diamond because Hilton Diamond's pretty good. I don't have an easy way to get the Globalist. And if shopping portals are a thing, I might just do most of my shopping through the Shop with Chase option or Rakuten to build up my Chase or Rakuten, my Chaser membership reward points. Now, I get we are blowing the doors off of that loophole. Oh, and I'd also get an Apple card because I would also like interest-free Apple stuff from time to time. So probably an Apple card, a Platinum, a Sapphire Reserve, Hilton Aspire, and just go from there. I've racked up a ton of annual fees.
You're still
is
not
just
where
worth
Kid
it.
and I are.
Oh God,
Yeah, I was
no.
gonna say.
Oh no, my Minnesota sensibilities can't handle that level of annual fee. I don't have Minnesota sensibilities. Anyway, yeah, I would just go with those 4 cards and just roll with it from there.
Not pulling out your JetBlue Premier card.
I'm physically throwing that card to Europe and saying, "Here, have this."
What did
Somehow still
Europe
has better
ever do to
earnings.
you?
What was that? What did that
What
card
did
ever do to me? Be terrible. Not
I would
fulfill a
Oddly enough.
promise.
I would apply for it as a joke, but I might get it, and that would be bad.
Knowing Barclays, they'll just give it to you.
In fairness, though, that card still has better earnings than most cards in Europe.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Terrible.
Thomas was too stunned to speak.
Yeah. I reject your reality and substitute my own by going to the next question. It comes from Ganelon, who says, recent card launches have resulted in community reactions that the new Sapphire Reserve is more of a lifestyle card than a travel card without its 3 times general travel category multiplier, and that the Strata Elite is unclear on what it's trying to appeal to or who it's trying to appeal to, with a muddle of different perks. Meanwhile, it seems many would agree that with American Express's summary of its gold card as great for food lovers, the if you food, get this card. Which credit cards are the best and worst at telling a story or conveying a clear purpose to the customer? RJ,
Yes, Matt.
what cards are the best and worst at telling a story to you?
So I went to a bunch of different websites because I don't honestly know how they market themselves very much. So let's start with Wells Fargo, because that's the alphabetically the last one on my list, so I can go this way. The Attune is marketed as the card that rewards you for making a positive impact. Now, does it? But they're not curing cancer with the credit card. They're not. So, not terrible. Wells Autograph, I think, is good. Earn 3x points from many ways to keep your life in motion. I like that one. It's catchy, it's short, does its job. Autograph Journey is unlimited points that go the extra mile. A little too precious for me. I still think the Autograph has the best one of those, but not bad. City doesn't actually have a ton of marketing. They have like bullet points like unlimited cash back for the double cash or earn cash back at Costco and everywhere else you shop. So I'm not going to necessarily grade them just because they're not really telling stories with their cards in that way, and I don't want to be unfair. We're going to laugh at US Bank because Smartly exists and they still market it as an up to 4%. They do unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, and then they have the steps on the side, which is very funny. My Siri is going off thinking I'm talking to it. I think the Cash Plus and the Shopper Cash are pretty much what they say, right? Earn up to 6% cash back and then earn cash back. So those are pretty good on the tin. They're not catchy, they're not a slogan, but they do what they say. They're cashback cards. Chase. Oh dear, sweet Chase. Let's see. Let me get back to that page. The new. I love that they just put the new in front of their cards that they've updated. Like they've magically like been blessed by a leprechaun. At a glance, 8x points on Chase Travel, 4 on flights and hotels booked directly, plus get over $2,700 in value. In theory, if you were to utilize every credit perfectly on time and in sync, you could get $2,700 of value out of the Sapphire Reserve. The percentage of people who are going to do that could fit inside most high school football stadiums out of the entire population of the United States.
What about
So,
ones in Texas, though?
but even if 87,000 people could do that, would still out of 330 plus million Americans is a very small percentage.
This is true.
The CSP is marketed as premium dining and travel rewards, which
It does neither.
cute. Unlimited 1.5% cash back is just the beginning for the freedom. I think that's fair. It is 1.5% cash back, and then it has some other perks. So I'll give it that one. Earn cash back for every purchase. Freedom Flex, yes. You earn cash back for every purchase. That is not what anybody thinks of the Freedom Flex. Like, they're not like 1% cash back. Yay. So Chase, I think, is a little bit gleeful there. As far as American Express, the gold card, I think, is, yes, I know you can find it under the travel category as well as other categories. I think it's fine. The platinum is marketed as elevate your travel. I do think that is fair. Not everything has a moniker. Boost your journey for the reserve. Again, I think that one is fair. Like the brilliant doesn't have a little tab or anything. I think Amex is pretty fair as far as theirs, but their cards are also the most well known for what they're for. If I ask anybody what the platinum, the gold, and the green are for, they're gonna be able to tell me in general if you're in the credit card game at all. So I think Amex's marketing department is probably the strongest of just what those cards are. So those are the ones that I think are the best and the worst of the bunch. But again, not every company markets on their website the way they do in ads and stuff, and I didn't have time to pull ads, so we're just going off the web.
That's certainly fair. When it comes to Chase, I think of Chase as having hired the marketing agency that Lexus hired in the early 2000s when they were introducing the RX 300, and they were like, it changes everything, except it changed absolutely nothing. That is the sort of marketing I think of when it comes to Chase, and the fact that they spend far too much money going into Kevin Hart's bank accounts. So he's got a checking and his savings, and there are times where the savings has to transition over to the checking in order to cover the bill. Anyway, I'm not going to continue that bit. But Craig, what is it? Who's telling a story right? Who's not telling a story right?
Absolutely. So I'm actually going to push back on RJ here for a second. I don't think the gold actually tells a great story. And this is coming from the person that just has recently had two golds for the last year.
Is a quartermaster basically?
Yeah. We talk about the gold being a travel card, and then there's the gold being this is your everything food card.
I
I
don't
just
think
don't.
anybody in reality talks as the gold as a travel card. That was my point, is it's not a travel card.
And I
Right.
agree. Okay. Then I misunderstood. I apologize.
It's okay.
Because even as a travel card, the gold, I can tell you just from having been in like out of the country the last few months, gold is not a great travel card, especially if you're going to be there long term or food card long term. Restaurants, awesome, but I I'm getting 1x on the grocery stores again. Not great. I think one that we're missing are just co-brands in general. There is no mistake. Why am I getting the Hilton Aspire? You are staying at Hilton, right? And I think that we, as a credit card, and this is where we are a fun community because people will say, just get the Surpass and liquidate the credit. Doesn't that defeat the entire purpose of having the Hilton Surpass? Now, the average person would say, oh my God, this is an awesome card. I can get $200 off my Hilton stays for the year. I'm only staying 5 times at a Hilton, but that's $50 off each time. That's easy savings. It's an easy card. Oh, what? You mean I can earn points by using gas, groceries, dining, and other? This is amazing. I'm going to use that to stay at Hilton's. Our group will say, how can I get these Hilton points to turn into Alaska miles that I'll never use to fly on Alaska, but I can take and look at the sun at the right angle and fly Japan Airlines first class from New York to Tokyo. There's a lot of Olympic level assumptions being made here. But so co-brands, I think, are the ultimate. If you are not using this product, do not get this card. I'm going to do something that I normally don't do, but is a pastime of our Discord and of RJ's. I'm going to bag on Tariq for a second. I love you dearly, brother. You are sensational. You are one of my favorite people. If you ever talk about AA ever again, having never taken a United flight before this year and wanting a United card, my good friend, sir, the level of copium that you are taking to make this card work right now, stop it.
I will push back slightly. He took a flight in 2022 before he got into credit cards. Because I hit him on the same point. He's taken one or two United flights before he got into credit cards.
Ooh, excuse me. I have been absolutely flabbergasted and floored. But yeah, co-brands, I think and I get it. We are a community of min-maxing. I am not a min-max person. I am not the person that's ever going to be in the 1% of anything that happens. It just does not appeal to me, whether it's video games, whether it's credit cards. I want to be good at it. I want to be adequate. I want to be the person that if you are in a Destiny raid and you take me and you say, hey, we need a guy that can do this, you aren't going to be mad. Now, I'm not going to save the day, but you aren't going to be mad. And that's the way I look at my credit cards. If you have the Delta Reserve, or somebody here has two of them, I know for a fact RJ is flying Delta. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. She may not spend a ton of money on those cards, but she is flying Delta. Matt has a JetBlue card. JetBlue is your airline, despite you being, or preferential airline, despite you being a free agent, right? Like, I wouldn't tell somebody to go get the Brilliant if you aren't staying at Marriott. I think that's the cards that tell the best story. And even when we look at it within the different levels and tiers, there's only one real co-brand card, or technically two, that I can look at and say, I don't understand who this is for. And those are the Bonvoy Bevy and the Bonvoy, not Brilliant, Bold.
Bountiful.
They're 200, yep, $250, and you don't get a FNC unless you spend $25,000. That makes no sense.
The Boundless is the card that you product change to before you get the Ritz-Carlton card. That's what that card is for.
Boom. There we go. But yeah, I think those tell a really conducive story. And one more that I'm going to put out there are the Bank of America cards, right? I think that they tell a story that says, hey, you don't want to get into points and miles, but you want to have some additional ability to get cash back, and you like simplicity and a terrible user interface and app. Bank with Merrill Lynch. We'll give you extra points. That's it
Well,
for me.
that's fair. I think Amex cards, when telling a particular story, are good at that story. The Platinum card is excellent for heightening your travel experience, and gives lifestyle credits that can enhance your life. The Gold card is more of a food card than anything else. It's better to market that as food, your everyday needs handled. They really should have just stripped away all of the travel multipliers and anything to do with travel on that card. No foreign transaction fees is really all it needs. And restaurants worldwide, you're good to go. That is the card you use at the restaurant when you're traveling. The green has become like the all-around travel and transit card. They don't market the green particularly effectively. They've had it be the go-to travel, your everyday travel card. It'd be better with a gas multiplier, whatever. But there is some marketing they could have done with that card. Chase has no idea what telling a story about their cards is. Like, they want to tell you that the Sapphire Preferred is the best, is a great dining and travel experiences card. You're getting 2 times points on all travel for now, and 3 times points on dining. All Chase cards have 3 times points on dining. The first thing you do when laying out a Chase card is 3 times points on dining. Otherwise, the project manager is just going to slap you in the face, probably with a fish. So you can't call it a dining card because every card's a dining card from Chase. I'm surprised that the in cash still is only 2 times points on restaurants, because I'm sure somebody got slapped. They put the 25,000 cap on the 5X categories, and then they got a small bonus or something. I don't know. Wells tries to tell stories, but the autograph is your everyday travel card. They can market that better than American Express can market the green card. Autograph Journey, I don't know how they're telling that story particularly. It's the ultimate road warrior card in terms of hotels or 5X. You're going to be staying more in hotels than you are flying planes, primarily in the United States. It doesn't have the same 3X travel category. It doesn't have 3X gas. So it's not like the ultimate road warrior card, but it enhances your road warrior days. The Attune, they try to say it's great for improving yourself and improving the planet. That, sure, whatever. It's just 4X on entertainment. That is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. It's 4X on transit. Sure, it's 1X better than the autograph, but you think of travel, you go back to your autograph. You forget that the Attune has transit and EV, because most people don't have EVs in the United States. It's a growing segment of the market, but nobody pulls up to the charge point the way that they pull up to Speedway or ConocoPhillips or Route 66 or 76 or Hy-Vee or Come and Go or Ready Trip or Quick Trip or Wawa, Sheets. Which one?
Shell, because that's what I use.
Shell for American Airlines miles. I'm forgetting ExxonMobil, which is the biggest oil company in the world. The Attune just doesn't do that improving the world thing particularly well. Capital One is actually really good at highlighting what their cards are. Saver, dining and entertainment, food and entertainment. Ventures, literally everything else, because it's flat 2X on the Venture and Venture X. It is the travel card that no matter what, you're getting 2 times miles across the board. Then they also highlight the Quicksilver, which is 1.5% on everything. They tell that story somewhat well. They're really good at telling that story. They aren't necessarily compelling stories, but they're really good at telling that story. Cards that are bad at telling a story, anything from US Bank, because the story is always changing, and the story can't last more than 6 months. And then when the story has stayed the same for 8 years, they have ripped that story away from people and put it back, and then ripped it away from them again, and now they're going to put it back and make it worse. It's like hockey in Atlanta. It's not a good idea. So yeah, they're not particularly they're not particularly good at telling stories or conveying a clear purpose for their card. The Altitude Reserve used to be really good as the use this with Apple Pay and we will take care of you for all of your travel. And they're going to stop doing that in December. It's not great.
I do want to
Can't really
push
think of any
back.
of some others.
I do want to push
Sure.
back on a little bit. I don't think it's a problem the Gold Card has the ability to use multipliers because they're portal based in the Amex portal. And because they want people to use their portal, and if you like this card, you'll like the platinum, it makes a certain amount of sense. If they were regular travel multipliers, I would understand more of the muddled point. But every Amex card has the ability to get additional
2x, yeah.
points in the portal. So that one I will push back a little bit because I think it makes sense from a perspective of what Amex is doing with their portal. But overall, I agree with your points. But I've been saving that one since you mentioned the gold card, so I was damn sure going to say it.
That's fair, but it would have been a lot more fun and a lot more like put Capital One back in the corner where they belong if that 3X category on the gold card was 3X entertainment.
I don't agree, but that's a different topic.
That's fair. All right. So thanks, Ganelon, for that one. We'll move over to AP's question. AP says, scenario time. Laws are passed to restrict credit card ownership for reasons. And if we're just passing laws to restrict credit card ownership, like we're in a really good place.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
me just say, we are not in that place right now. Any way, shape, or form. I would aspire to get to that place. You can now only hold 2 credit cards. You're forced to cancel all your other cards. What 2 cards do you choose? Why? Would you get a card you don't already have? Please consider perks, benefits, earning ability, and acceptance in your answer. Oh boy. I can only have 2 cards. I'm gonna grab my annual fee bazooka and I'm just gonna grab the Sapphire Reserve and the Platinum. Cover all my travel capabilities. 3x on dining. I can manipulate 3x on dining to get me 3x on some other general spend that I do. It's not pretty, and it's going to cost me some money, but 3x is 3x. Even with the upcoming changes to the Sapphire Reserve, I am still going to have that 3x capability. So I'll 3x a bunch more things. I'm going to guarantee myself Sapphire lounges for the places that I fly to that have Sapphire lounges. They'll probably be less crowded than American Express Centurion lounges, potentially, but they're still filling up very quickly. The Centurion, I'm going to make sure that wherever I travel, I am in pretty good comfort because it has the most extensive lounge network there is. I'm still going to play my games on the side, whether it's Rove or it's Rakuten. Gives me that capability as well. I'm going to pull from my answer before. And benefits, both cards are loaded with benefits. I'm willing to pay the annual fees for those benefits. I'm also willing not necessarily to think about my net out annual fee with, oh, what benefits did I use this month? Or what benefits did I use this quarter? Look, it's a $795 annual fee, and it's a God knows what the annual fee is going to be at the end of the year annual fee. I'm going to pay them. It's going to come out of my bank account. Whatever I do to replenish that is whatever. It doesn't go back into my bank account. It's just remember that. Acceptance, American Express is accepted most places in the United States, like an overwhelming majority of places in the United States, and Visa is practically accepted everywhere. So I'm good. I'm covered there. Now, this episode has turned into is Matt actually going to apply for the Platinum card? No, but the Platinum card would fit in both of these answers for me very well. I don't know what my next American Express membership reward point earning card would be. I try not to think about that too often. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Platinum and the Sapphire Reserve and just roll with it from there. If you want to go in the comments and say, but you could just do everything with the Venture X. Yes, I could, but you didn't answer the question. I did.
Boom.
RJ, laws have been passed. You can only hold 2 cards for reasons. And God, I wish this was the reality we were living in. What 2 are you picking?
Platinum and Delta Reserve. Look, is it the most points heavy system? No. But I can buy IHG Platinum through the ambassador, so I don't have to have a card to have that. So I have 75% of having the IHG card by simply buying ambassador. Plus, I get the benefits of the IHG ambassador program. So that takes care of my IHG side. I'm not gonna not have a Delta card because I want the points boost or the MQD boost. Plus, one thing that I found out is Delta Vacations doesn't code as Delta, so I only get 1x on the Platinum. if I'm using Delta vacations. I get 3x on the Delta card because it is still Delta. So Delta card 3x, Platinum card 1x. So I want the Delta card because I use the portal for vacations and their hotels when they have MQDs. So the only way I'm going to be ever doing a hotel is probably through the portal in this case, if I have the ability to get an MQD out of it. So I want that. If I have the platinum, I can go through the Amex portal for extra points because I would get the 5x through the Amex portal. I get automatic gold with Marriott and Hilton, which I would want to keep. The platinum does fit as it in its current form in my system, so we're good there. So everything about those two cards fits, and they currently fit, which is why I hold both of them. So if I'm only going to have two cards, I've got to go with two cards I have because I have them because they fit into my setup. So it's the Platinum and the Delta Reserve.
Yeah, if anyone had any guesses that weren't the Platinum or the Delta Reserve, let us know down below because if RJ, that was probably a gimme.
The only option I thought of other than the Delta Reserve was the Aspire, but only because having 7x Hilton points on all travel, if for some reason I was doing something else, like rental cars, everything like that, would be nice, and it would give me diamond at Hilton. If I had three cards, it would probably be the Platinum, the Delta Reserve, and the Aspire, if I could only have three.
That's fair. Craig, two cards. Two cards
Yeah.
only.
So, Matt, you actually took my exact answer, and I curse you. Damn you to hell. So, you didn't
I
say
blew it up
anything about
too.
product changes. So, I'm going to get a Hilton Surpass, spend that bad boy up to $29,000, and then go with the Hilton Aspire for the exact reasons that RJ just mentioned.
There's no product change, sir. I'm sorry. You can't product change.
But it's
This
the same
is
card, it's the exact
Yeah.
same account.
Nope. You can have two credit cards. It does not say that you can product change those credit cards. We just bent the rules on the last question. I'm not letting you bend the rules on this one.
This is
I
not in
soft
the spirit of
allow it,
AP.
but
AP would
AP let us
agree.
know.
I'm sure
Yeah,
AP
okay.
would agree, but I'm not AP.
Mm,
She's the EP.
I am the EP.
this is, I
To be
understand how
fair,
Tariq
Craig,
feels now.
I agree with you. I
Thank
am
you,
with you.
Matt.
Yes.
Thank you.
The question is
Uh,
not about product changing. The question about what two cards would you hold, sir? If you want
fine,
to
since
say the
I'm being
Surpass, you can say the Surpass. If you want to say the Aspire, you can say the Aspire, but you cannot do a product change in the middle.
I'm being oppressed, and I don't love it here, but it's fine. In that case, I'm gonna go with my 2B answer, and it's gonna be the Venture X and the Sapphire Reserve. I'm getting 2x on everything, and then 4x dining, 3x dining, 4x flights and hotels. It'll work out. There's also a pretty mostly decent overlap there with transfer partners, so I'm not too concerned about it. If I'm worried about having, and originally I was going to have the platinum, but if I'm worried about lounges, I will just buy, I will always have Admirals Club lounge access. I will buy a United membership, call it a day, and we should be pretty well covered as far as lounges go for travel. I'm traveling less, so it's less of a concern for me. And you know what? In this landscape, 2x is enough for me. I was thinking about the Venture X and the Saver, but I would like a little bit more flexibility than that. And if I only have two cards, I'd like for them to give me something. And so with the Sapphire Reserve getting that IHG Platinum kickstarts me to Marriott Gold, which I'll just stay my way to Titanium. Or guys, I am only $400 away from Ambassador. Woot. So we will see how that functions. Am I going to have to stay another year at Marriott to see if it makes any semblance of a difference, or can we just assume it's the same? We shall
Probably
see.
the same.
It's probably the same. If I'm being real, it's probably the same. But yeah, Venture X and Sapphire Reserve for me.
Okay. If Chase had a flat 2x card, I probably would have just been okay with the Sapphire Reserve and a 2x card.
You know what, Matt? For Christmas, you might get the freedom refresh that you've been looking for.
Yeah, okay. And I might have a government that actually works.
I feel like that's like grabbing a magic 8 ball and just shaking it and seeing whatever answer comes up. And I will say, Craig, if we don't bust on you a little bit on the show, we don't actually like you. So welcome to the club, friend.
Hey, that's not no, that's not fair to other guest hosts we've had.
We bust on everybody. Every
Oh
single
yeah,
guest host has been busted on a little bit.
That's fair.
I wouldn't say it if we didn't do it, Matt.
love you, middle seat, the basic economy. He knows who we're talking about.
I'm
I
just gonna
mean, I
go.
would so. He's a meme at this point.
Ooh, just gonna hop in my little red Corvette, move around, move away, move along is what I was looking for. Jeez,
It's okay,
Alan
man.
Marine.
We still love you.
Yeah,
Slightly
thank you.
less.
I deserve it. Anyway, next question comes from Keith, who says, with the new $75,000 lounge requirement for guest lounge access on that American Express unleashed upon the industry, and the other banks are now following suit. One other bank, that is Capital One, because madness. Are any of these lounge cards worth the opportunity cost of spending $75,000 on them versus other available non-lounge cards? Craig, I'll throw back to you on this one.
I'm going to give you two very different answers. For the first one, I'm going to say it depends, right? If you have one card and your only card, I think more people put 75,000 or close to $75,000 on a platinum than you would like to think. And those are mostly people that aren't credit card people and are between the ages of 40 and probably 80-ish. I know that's a large demographic. They just say, I've got my card and that's what I use, and I use it for everything. It's a reality that we don't really want to talk about, but it's a reality. And if we're being honest, I can guarantee you, most of those people do not care. I've been to a number of Centurion lounges where people say, oh, it's $50 per guest, and they bring in six guests, and they do not care. I think we put a lot of energy into kind of complaining about benefits or guidelines that in the grand scheme don't particularly matter. Now, if you have a family of four and you travel with that family 5 times a year through airports, I can see why you're upset about the venture exchanges. Truly and genuinely, I can. But let's just be honest. How many people are actually traveling with more than two other companions? Or if you have a family of four, more than three other people? Is it really? And how often are you traveling with those kids or with those, excuse me, with those other individuals? I don't know if it necessarily necessitates us to be upset about this. Am I mad that they took away two extra guests that you could get on the Platinum? A little bit, but also I, for the last 4 years, have frequented the Philly Centurion Lounge and I've wanted more space. And let me assure you, not enough people have been trimmed out. I want more space. It's really nice that you can get two people into the Sapphire lounges. I think that's great, but also I don't see that lasting too much longer. Even with this update at 795, I would be absolutely floored if within the next 2 years we don't see Chase do the exact same thing and say, "Hey, you want those two guests, 75,000." So I just say, don't worry about it. Use that spend for other things. Use it for subs if that's your thing. If not, use it for a Hilton free night certificate or an Alaska companion pass or any other number of perks that you can get to unlock your card that will actually give you a more sizable amount of value. Because here's the thing, if you're not taking that spend or if you're not taking trips more than 3, 4, 5 times a year with three or plus companions, is there really an opportunity cost or is this just the cost of traveling?
That's fair. RJ, your thoughts there?
So I have a different angle I'm coming at this one from. I don't think that people are thinking about the 75,000 number correctly. And what I mean by that is I don't think it's for the banks saying you should spend 75,000 on this card. I think maybe a little bit, but not really. This is for the people that spend 100,000 on their platinum card or on a different card, and here's a value for you. Because if you spend 50, they're not paying it out. If you spend 74,000, they're not paying it out, right? This is something that they know how many people hit and can just say, here's a thing. If you hit it, congratulations. I don't think most of the marketing is, oh my God, you should hit 75,000 so you can get IHG Platinum on the CSR or you can get IHG Dime. There's something IHG. Anyway, or on the Platinum guest access, right? That's not really what it's for. It's for the people who spend it or the people who get very close to spending it. If you spent 72,000 last year on your platinum, like $3,000 is nothing, right? In the grand scheme of things, probably for you. So it's, hey, spend a little bit more with us and you'll get this perk. Because you probably are putting some of that through airlines. So like you're probably in airlines sometimes. So just spend a little more and you'll get this cool benefit. It's not for the people spending $40 or $50,000. That's not what this is for. And I think we get our collective panties in a bunch because we're like, oh, the banks are trying to manipulate us. If you spent $23,000 on all of your credit cards next year, this is not for you, bro. If you don't care about lounge access, this also is not for you, bro. We're so used to centering ourselves in our own lives that we're looking at credit card marketing, upset that the marketing isn't specifically for us. I have never once worried about the $75,000 number on my platinum for guest access. I don't care. It might as well be $1 million. I'm not going to hit it and I don't care. So I don't think about it. But people acting, I can hit it. So are they trying to force me? If you're not even close to it, but you have that spend, it's also not for you, bro. Stop acting like every bit of marketing is for you. Look at the marketing for what it is. A, it's marketing, and B, look at the actual thing. Use your critical thinking skills. And this is not to Keith, this is to the community at large. Look at your critical thinking skills and say, is this benefit something I will use? Yes. And then the marketing, cool, let me go look at it because it actually might tell me something. Is it something I'll use? No. It doesn't matter what the marketing is. Like, part of being in the credit card community is taking a look at the marketing and deconstructing it. And we do not do that enough because bright, shiny. Yes, marketing works on every single person on this panel, listening to this podcast, and related to us. It does. If it didn't, it wouldn't be the billion-dollar industry it is. It works. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Part of being in the community is deconstructing some of that. In groups, in conversations, yourself with your spreadsheet, like, is part of that. But we see 75,000 and we act like it's some holy grail number of like, how could they possibly do this to us? They're taking points out of our pocket by putting this number here. It's not for you, bro. That's my ultimate point. It's not for you, bro. I cede my floor.
I'm hearing that it's not for you.
Bro. The bro is very important.
Yes. So here's the thing. American Express and Capital One both gave you opt-outs to the 75,000 portion. Authorized user cards. Now, Capital One is doing a stupid usury fee because you can still get an authorized user card for no annual fee, but it'll cost you $125 to put that authorized user into lounges. Fine, whatever. Pay the $125. Per authorized user, that is $500. Yes, it's $500 more dollars going to Capital One, and they're not giving you God, I don't even know what sort of perk or credit Capital One could come up with beyond the $300 travel coupon. They're not giving you a free buffet at
Golden Corral.
Oh God, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'll go with a buffet on the on the Vegas Strip. They're not giving you a free buffet on the Vegas Strip for your extra $500. Yes, I get that, but you know what? You and your 4 authorized users still get access to the lounges. Now they're cutting off the extra guests, whatever. But for $500 more dollars, you get the same thing. You're not going to get as many people in the lounge because they're trying to curtail the number of people in their lounges because they forgot to build lounges when they did this, when they added this perk to the cards. That's not your fault, but $500 extra commitment. The card costs less than $400. And if you do the net game that folks will try to convince themselves with because of Capital One's marketing, the card pays you back $5. $500 on top. You're only really out $495. It's crap math. There's that little bit of marketing you could convince yourself with. Going to American Express, $195. Like, that is the fee to add an authorized user and continue with your lounge access for your authorized user. Now, I get that that is a pain in the ass for guests. Yes, it's absolutely a pain in the ass for guests. You're going to have to pay for guests. You know what travel costs? This weird thing called money. And we like to convince ourselves that we're traveling for free with our points and miles, but like, we spent thousands of dollars to subsidize the points that we accrued, to build up the point numbers that we accrued for that free travel. That free travel was, yes, less than you actually like would have had to pay for. Absolutely. First class La Premiere, the apartments, what is it? A&A, the room, Q Suites, these are very expensive cash tickets. I get that. And they're far cheaper using points. Again, I get that. Dig into the savings from La Premiere or A&A The Room or Q Suites or the apartments from Etihad. Is it Etihad that does the apartments or Emirates? It doesn't matter. Dig into the savings from that multiple thousands of dollars you're saving and pony up for a guest pass at the Centurion Lounge. Pony up for a guest pass at the Capital One lounges that, are too few built because Capital One forgot to build lounges while they were hawking this card at everyone. Don't worry about the $75,000 requirement. Like, they've given you options to sidestep them. It is upon you to decide whether those options are worthwhile for an additional usury fee with Capital One or an extra fee with American Express. And if you're going to convince yourself that you don't want to pay the annual fee, cool. Your partner, your friend who you're giving the authorized user card to, whoever you're giving that authorized user card to, has an option to pay $395 for their own Capital One Venture X and get all of the perks that you get, or $695 for the American Express Platinum card, to which they have pretty easy standards in terms of acceptance for the card. I'm not going to say that they're like Barclays and just giving them out like candy. They're not far off. As long as your credit's decent and you show an ability to pay, like Amex will give you a platinum card. They will give most people a platinum card. They will give a lot of people who shouldn't have a platinum card. They're really easy to get. So
Stop telling people that so they won't apply, Matt. God.
I don't care about your lounges.
Wow, that hurts.
Until I get one. And then I will care about the lounge.
The day you get a platinum card, I would just be celebrating the entire show.
All right. I don't have any applications open right. Anyway, like sidestep, like reject that reality, substitute your own. Like they give you this option to do the 75K spend. They want you to do the 75K spend because they want the swipe fees on the 75K spend. If you don't want to give them the swipe fees, pay Capital One $500 for 4 authorized user cards with access to the lounge. Pay American Express $195 a pop for the authorized user card. Or if you don't want to have that extra money come out of your pocket, take it out of your friend's pocket, telling them to get a $395 card or $695 card, asterisk, for now. Reject the 75K portion of things. If you routinely put $80,000, $90,000 through your platinum card, great. You don't have to do anything different. If you have a Centurion card, great. You don't have to do anything different. If you're putting 75, 80K through your Venture X or your Venture X business card, great. You don't have to do anything different. If you're not at that level, as RJ said, like it's not for you. Sidestep the adventure. Reject that reality. Put your 75K elsewhere. You want to go spend your way toward Globalist? 75K is a easy number to help you spend toward Globalist, especially if you're using it on the Hyatt business card. If you want to, I don't know, spend 75K across all your cards on living, cool. Don't accept the lounge requirement spend as like a way to get free whatever, because free guest access cost you $75,000, where you could have spent $500 with Capital One or $195 a pop with American Express. I cannot expand upon that further because it's not free lounge access. It's not yes, they're going to call it complimentary guest access. You know what it is? The most expensive guest access in the world. Call it what it is. $75,000 usury fee to not get another card.
If that's the only thing you're doing, though. If you're going to spend that anyway, I would reject that. But if you're doing it for lounge access, I would agree with you.
Yes. Again, if you're the person who's routinely putting $80,000 through their card, sweet. But most of us in this community, and especially on the manufactured spend side or the churning side or dark arts side of things, they're not doing that. And there are listeners in those portions of the community. We appreciate all the views. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the interaction. But if you're not in that demographic that's routinely putting 75,000 or 80,000 through the card, don't go out of your way to do this because you don't want to pay $50 at the gate because you're spending $75,000 on a card that you shouldn't be spending $75,000 on. If you're someone who routinely puts 75K, 80K, 100K, $1 million through your platinum card, are you even thinking about the lounge access? Because I'm sure part of that 75K, 80K, whatever, was just buying passes anyway.
Matt, I know some people who are very wealthy, and yes, they would think about that. I promise you they would. Some of the cheapest people I know are millionaires.
Yes, I understand that. And yes, they are also, the frugal bunch. And yes, this would be enticing to them. That's 6 people after Warren Buffett.
I don't think you understand the rich people that come upstate in the summer that I have to deal with for several months a year.
Who should be taxed at 80% of their wealth.
Yes, but that's not the question in front of us.
Tax them anyway. All right, Keith. Sorry, I've gone full radical on you on this one. I almost apologize. Actually, I don't. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to move on. Our last question comes from Double Animal Fries, who says, so if there was a stack your points credit card, what would it look like? Issuer, multipliers, categories, annual fee, credits, transfer partners, look and feel, etc., etc. Points for creativity. RJ, what would your stack your points credit card look like?
So, first, the image is Matt in his onesie. That is, instead of the Centurion, it's just Matt in his onesie. Because I feel like it just has to be that. It is a metal card. It is the color scheme of the Centurion with just Matt in the onesie on the front, like the Centurion. So, look, I'm going Amex. I'm sorry, international people. I don't care. I'm going Amex. It is a very simple multiplier. It is 4x mobile wallet, 3x food and grocery. Craig, it's okay. You're losing 1x point, but you're getting that mobile wallet. So if you can use mobile wallet at the grocery store, you're good. 2x everything. Those are I didn't say I had to be realistic. There was nothing in here on realism. So we're going a touch of fantasy, and I'm enjoying myself. Credits, we're using the entertainment credit from the Platinum, which is super easy. We're doing the Dunkin' credit because it's me, and I like Dunkin'. And then we're using the Bonvoy Brilliant Dining credit, which is also super easy to use. Partners are the American Express bevy of partners. There's something for everybody. But yeah, it's a solid card. It would be the only card I would need. And it would have Matt in a onesie, which again, I still think is the funnest outfit Matt wears. Not the hockey jerseys, not the t-shirts, the onesie. That isn't actually a onesie, but we will never stop calling it a onesie.
I am so sorry for all of your nightmares and the collective therapy y'all will need, but that'll go toward that 75,000 spend to get your free guest access. If that's a little good that I can do for the world, sure. Oh, RJ, are you doing this for no annual fee?
Oh, I didn't mention the annual fee. I'm gonna say we'll put it where the Platinum is. If we're doing that much of a multiplier on mobile wallet, uncapped food and grocery, and a 2x everything, I'll put it where the Platinum is. I think that's fair.
It's a bargain and twice the price. Craig, without putting my visage on a credit card, you can if you want. I don't know why you would. What would your stack your points card look like?
So I leaned into the creativity side. We're going to Visa Infinite on the Chase transfer partners. And I was torn between Chase and American Express because two of us here are American Express through and through, and two of us here are Chase people. So just for our international friends, we're going with a Visa Infinite. You don't have to worry about acceptance. You got some decent protections. Metal card, obviously. And then I leaned into the fours. So we're getting 4 UA passes. We have 4 categories: 4x on travel, 4x on grocery unlimited, 4x on gas, and 4x mobile wallet. You'll notice travel, airfare, all that's it's the broad Chase travel. Groceries, gas was for Matt, groceries for me. Mobile wallet, everybody loves a good mobile wallet. And then for actual styling of the cards, we're going to have some wild cards. So we're going to have the Mets and Islander orange blue color scheme, and it's just going to be Matt's hair in the middle, swooped over. It's the RJ Black Kanga in the middle for RJ's edition of the card. The Lonnie blue / Bulls red, depends on where he wants to go with that. And it's just going to be his glasses, just the glasses right there. For me, we're going to go with a combination of Bulls red, Philly green on our combination card. And it's just going to be a picture of a grocery receipt in the very front of that. And then special edition, you can only product change to it. It's the Reek Loser Saints Black and Gold Edition. And instead, it's just a meme where Tariq pops into the Discord all the time at 50%, and he goes, "Or," and it's just Tariq. So there we go. And because we're sports fans, we will have special contracts with WNBA, MLB, NFL, and NHL where we can get tickets early. So there we go. And then for credits, we're going to get the $300 Chase travel credit, $300 Bonvoy Brilliant credit for food, $300 entertainment credit, and a $300 concessions credit. So if you're spending money at concession stands, because we're obviously going to the Mets games and we're going to Islanders games and Phillies and Eagles games, and we're going to go see Gritty do terrible things at the Flyers while they lose terribly because, let's be honest, they still suck.
Don't support Gritty.
Whoa, what?
That thing is nightmare fuel.
How dare you?
Gritty
Gritty
is
is
the
good.
only thing that brings America together, Matt.
Let's eject it into space because it's not working.
I don't know if I want to be a part of this podcast anymore. That hurt. That is the most spiteful thing that you've ever said.
Oh,
City be damned.
I can think of some more spiteful things, but no, it's fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
I have to regain my composure. But this one isn't going to come cheap. It's not going to come cheap because we're also getting into the CSR lounges and we're getting a priority pass. We're looking at a nice, smooth $8.95. We're just going to go ahead and get you that updated platinum price. But think about how many points you're going to generate and all the credits. You're breaking even easy, people. It's simple, easy, good to go.
There we go. What sort of madness will I cook up now? Look and feel of the card. Unlike my co-host this evening, I'm going to go with the material I always want to see out of a credit card. I want to see a carbon fiber credit card. And if we're doing a stack your points card, I'm doing a carbon fiber card. You can tweak the colors however you see fit. You can do blue and orange. You can do the color scheme that Craig just mentioned. You could just have a pure black on black credit card if you want. Like, it is stealthy. You'll still have all your information on the back. Or maybe not. We could steal that from Apple. So
I like that.
we got ourselves a carbon credit card, a carbon fiber credit card. Look and feel, it is light as all get out. Annual fee, we're gonna come back to the annual fee. It's gonna get a little heavy. Multipliers. This is a base 2.5 card and 4x on mobile wallet. I don't need anything else.
I like it.
4x mobile wallet, base 2.5. It's gonna be a Visa Infinite. It's also going to run through Chase and Ultimate Reward Points. Transfer partners, we're going to go with most of the Chase transfer partners, and we're going to throw in one more, and it's not from American Express. I'm going to throw in Amex. I'm going to return not Amex. I'm going to return Amtrak to the Chase fold.
I like that.
Planes, trains, hotels, because you're never going to transfer points to a rental car company. And I'm not making that John Candy reference. So you're going to get that. You're going to get the look and feel, multipliers, categories. We got those covered. If you want to use the Chase Travel Portal, cool. But it's only going to be 2.5. I'm sorry. I don't feel like giving Chase the Travel Portal multipliers beyond that. Perks. You'll get a general entertainment credit. We'll say it's $300. Doesn't matter what the entertainment is. Just a general entertainment credit. It'll also come with a $300 dining credit. Doesn't matter where you're dining. Doesn't matter how often you're dining. It can be one shot. Could be, if you want to break it up into $25 increments per month. I don't know why you would. I'm giving you just a straight $300. A general $300 travel credit because it's on the Chase network, and this is still the only thing Chase gets right in terms of credits. And we'll throw in a general $300 streaming credit separate from entertainment. So that entertainment can be live entertainment, could be streaming. You could double up for $600. I don't care. Now, that's a lot of credits. You're going to get access to the Sapphire Lounges. You're going to get access to the Maple Leaf Lounges. It's cutting the same deal that the Sapphire Reserve has. You're also going to get 4 UA lounge passes. Why not? I'll steal that from Craig because we're going hard. Global entry, TSA pre-check, obviously. You're going to get... What else? This card will actually come with some hotel statuses, unlike other Chase cards. You're going to get IHG Premium. We're going to steal that from the Sapphire Reserve. IHG Platinum, sorry. You're also going to get Bonvoy Gold, because every card gets a Bonvoy Gold. It's going to be hilarious when they name the annual fee. And for shoots and goggles, we're going to go with Hyatt Explorist on this card. So all of Chase's hotel partners are covered with status. I'm not going to throw airline status on here. I'm not even going to make it like a spend to bonus. Do whatever you want with airlines. I don't care. Annual fee. I'm sorry. We're gonna break a comma. You're gonna get all this for $2,000.
Yeah, but it really would be the only card you need.
Sure.
With that 2.5,
Base 2.5, 4x mobile.
No, that's fair.
I'd pay it.
You could stay at one Marriott per year. I'm kidding. You do a lot more than one Marriott per year. Bonvoy points are
Yeah, depends on
hilarious
the
though.
Marriott.
Yeah, that's true. Masai Mara, yeah. Isn't Masai Mara like 1,000,000 points or something like that?
I think it's like 400,000 a night.
Yeah, so it's pretty. You can pretty quickly. A week stay is going to be at least 2,000,000 points then.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's rejecting the credit card reality and substituting my own. Let me know how I did. I still think more companies should do carbon fiber credit cards.
One thing none of us mentioned: are these cards embossed or are they flat?
They're all flat. What's wrong? No. No, if we're doing embossed credit cards in 2025, you fail. Do
For
not
you.
collect $200. Go directly to jail.
My credit card hot take is we all care way too much if a card is embossed or not.
It's just silly at this point.
I've never looked at a card and gone, oh my God, it's embossed. I can't possibly carry this in my wallet.
No, it's not even that. It's just embossed is such a late 80s, early 80s, 90s technology where like the chip should have solved that. The chip did solve that, but like we do chips wrong because we should do chip and pin.
It doesn't matter.
My cards look beat up, so I have no room to talk. Even my flat cards, my CSR, it's seen better days. My gold is scratched up. Eh.
Here's the thing with my carbon fiber card that is emphasizing heavily mobile wallet. I'm not even going to be pulling it out that often anyway.
That's like, where did I put that thing?
Do you like give your son your gold card just to like non instead of a pacifier? Is that, I feel like in your household that actually might be the move.
Fun fact, my son sees me with credit cards, so my old deactivated cards, I'll scratch off the numbers on the back and I'll just give them to him so he can pretend that he has cards. He also has his own cards that we let him pay for stuff with. But something else that we do that's really cool, it's a bar game. Instead of like beer pong, can you knock the cup off the table with a gold card?
That's amazing.
Interesting games.
Yeah.
Just be prepared for the day that the daredevil tries to turn into a shuriken.
Oh no, that has already happened. Like it's surprisingly how much it hurts to have a Amex metal card whipped at you.
Oh, they're weighty.
Right? It hurts.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'm also 12, and so me and my friends will just start chucking stuff at each other. And when I pull out a card, they go, yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that. No, not at all.
I'm a man child. I can't help it. I apologize.
There aren't credit cards on the roof at my office. Nope, not at all. All right. Thanks, Level, for that. Thank you all for your answers here. But we do want to take this time to highlight our Diamond and new members. Our Diamond members, as always, are Rex Bleen, Rupert Pond, Double Animal Fries, AP, Keith, and Mitch 528. We do have new silver members this week. They have rejoined from the free memberships that were handed out to them by way of gifts from probably Mike Newland, but we've had some other gifts as well. If you feel you want to rejoin, we appreciate you, and we'll highlight those that do. This week, it is the Eternal Vortex and Economic Lens who have rejoined as silver members, so we appreciate you guys. No new gold members this week, but if you want to join at the gold level, check out the YouTube page. You can join from there. Come over to the Discord, let us know your membership level, and we'll go from there. But stackpoints.com, best way to find all of our resources, all of our various channels. If you like what we do, as always, and subscribe. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you then.